the screen that I'm sharing? Yeah, okay. So this is the blockchain, right? So let me show you something. If you type one, this is mempool.space. You type one. This is what you call the Genesis block, right? So this is where Bitcoin started 16 years ago. So 16 years ago, Satoshi Nakamoto, which is a fake name for whoever started Bitcoin, right, mined the first block. The thing about a blockchain is everything is verifiable. So every transaction on this block or everything that happens on any block, you can go back and look at it and see the details. Nothing is hidden. Nothing could be edited, corrected, altered, changed, hacked, right? So everything that he did is registered, right, on here. So this is the first block, second block, third block, so on and so forth. Right now we at block 800 and something thousand, right? So what happens is after every 210,000 blocks, the rewards for mining a Bitcoin get slashed into two. Okay, so if you type 210,000, you will see that that block is highlighted because this is where Bitcoin went from rewarding you with 50 Bitcoin to 25 Bitcoins. You see what I'm saying? So block 420,000 will do the same thing. Is that making sense? Type one or say yes if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know. So this is where the Bitcoin halving comes in. It's not necessarily 4 years, right? It's based on when the 210,000 Bitcoin is mined. So from here, when we have the rewards, another 210,000 blocks after this, it gets halved again, right? So if we go to block 420,000, which will be 210,000 times 2, you will see another golden block, right? The golden block means this was also halved. So we went from 50 Bitcoins rewarded for mining a Bitcoin or solving a problem to 25 and then to 12.5 and so on and so forth. So we have 33 halvings until the last Bitcoin will be added. And all of these transactions, all of these blocks, you can click on it and basically see all the transactions that happen within that block, right? This is what makes it transparent. You can see how much was spent, where it was sent to, how much fees were paid. You just don't know who is sending it and who is receiving it. But you can see all the transactions. So it's almost like somebody sending somebody a wire or Cash App or whatever, and you see the transactions on a ledger. You just can't attach it to a name, right? So this is what it means. So everything here, all the way, anybody who has transacted on this blockchain has their transaction recorded. It cannot be deleted, right? Any questions so far? So when you think blockchain, 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 essentially, this is what it looks like. It's a ledger with transactions recorded on it. Type 1, if we're making sense. So right now, we at block 887,923. This was just mined 14 minutes ago, right? So you can click on it, see everything that happened on there, the transactions on there. You can click on it, see where it came from, where it's going, how much fees were paid, so on and so forth. These are the blocks that are being worked on. So these are in the future. They haven't been confirmed yet. So after every 10 minutes or so, a block is mined. When the block is mined, it's moved to this side. Once it's confirmed and it gets on the blockchain, it becomes immutable, right? It's finalized. These transactions have reached finality, so nobody can alter it. Unlike the bank, you can't go back and say, hey, I didn't make this purchase, let me get a refund. Once you get your confirmations and it gets over here, it's done, right? You can't do nothing. You can't get your money back. You can't reverse it. You can't edit it. Can't come back and change your story. So everything on the left, and you can switch it where the pending blocks will be on this side and the confirmed blocks will be on this side. Any questions so far? I don't know where everybody is at. The folks who don't show up, as a matter of fact, I won't even post this. I won't even post it. So if you don't show up, you ain't gonna get the game. It is what it is. Any questions so far? So if you send Bitcoin to yourself, or you send Bitcoins to somebody else, you can check it on this mempool. There's a lot of different mempools. This is not the only one. It's just visually it's appealing, right? It's easy to digest what is going on, but this is not the only one. All right. Let me show you something else. All right. So Bitcoin came out January 3rd, 2009, right? But this chart here is measuring Satoshis per dollar, right? Satoshis okay. Satoshis are the dust of Bitcoin, or the cents of Bitcoin, or the pennies of Bitcoin, right? So when you have $1, there's 100 pennies in a dollar. So in the same way, with Bitcoin, one Bitcoin has 100 million sats. Or if you were to call it pennies or cents, you will say one Bitcoin has 100 million cents. But instead of calling it cents, we call it sats, right? So the same way you can take, 10 pennies added to make up 10 cents and go purchase something, you can add up sats and go purchase something, right? depending on how much that thing is. But hold on. Mute your mics. Okay, I'll mute you. Okay. You with me so far? So that's what sats are, right? But in 2013, if you're looking at my screen to the left-hand side, right? 2013, around January of 2013, $1 purchased 7 million sats, right? If you took $1 and you decided to buy Bitcoin with it, of course, Bitcoin was way higher. One Bitcoin was way higher than $1. So your dollar would not have been enough to purchase you a whole Bitcoin. However, it would have purchased you 7 million sats, right? Which is about 7% of a Bitcoin at that point. But you can see as time goes on, because the dollar is weak against Bitcoin and Bitcoin has a finite amount, the dollar tends to lose its value, right, against Bitcoin. So instead of being able to buy 7 million sats with $1, as time goes on, it buys less and less and less, right? So 2013, January, it bought 7 million. By the next year, it bought you about 131,000. So that is how much value Bitcoin gained, right? So if you are holding your money in dollars versus sats, your money grew. The dollars went down, okay? By 2020, $1 only purchased 5,000 sats, right? $1, 5,000 sats. And then as time goes on, you can see it fluctuates here and there, but your dollar is purchasing less and less sats. So we're gonna get to a point where $1 will purchase less than 1,000 sats. Right now, $1 purchases about 1,100 sats, okay? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the same $1 may only afford you 10 sats. We making sense? Give me a 1 if we making sense. Type 1 if we making sense. So you can look at this, look at this chart here, right? And already kind of like project 10 years from now. Looking at this was about 12 years ago, right? 12 years ago, we went all the way from $1 purchasing 7 million sats to now $1 is purchasing 1,000 sats. That is insane. So another 10 years, another 12 years from now, the same $1 may only get you 10 sats, 2 sats, right? So your money is better invested in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is getting more difficult to acquire as time goes on than the dollar. The dollar is infinite. They print as much as they want when they want to. With Bitcoin, the supply is fixed There's a lot of Bitcoins missing or lost. And so you already know this is supply and demand. Okay. All right. Let me show you something else. So far, we making sense? Are we making sense? Are we making sense? This is the Bitcoin spiral chart. I'm actually going to do a 365 days of orange pilling. Every day, I'm going to put out one hour or 30 minutes of free game, right? Free game, because I'm the Black Robin Hood. My goal is to get the information and put it out for free. Whoever gets it, gets it. If you take it, take the pill, go change your life, you do so for free. If you don't, that is on you. But if you look at this spiral halving chart, right? Bitcoin adds a zero to itself every 5 years, 5 years or so, 3 to 5 years, right? So we were at $1 here, $10. We hit $100 really quick, right? $1,000. We already hit 2,000, went to 10,000. We hit 100,000 already. So the next logical number we are moving towards is 1 million, right? Once we conquer 1 million, it's going to go to 2 million, 3 million, and head on to hit 10 million. Then it's going to do 20 million, 30 million, 40 million. Then it's going to go to 100 million. Maybe we're not going to be alive to experience that, but we're going to be alive to experience. I mean, most of us, when I say we're going to be alive, I'm not saying everybody going to be alive, but I'm saying it's going to be within a reasonable time, like the next decade or two, we're going to see a $10 million Bitcoin, possibly 20, 30, $40 million Bitcoin. So this is where we are. It's going to go around here and then start moving in this space towards the next level here, which is a $1 million Bitcoin. And then it's going to keep on going and going and going. So why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this to know that you are here. And if you purchase Bitcoin right now, you're buying a $1 million asset for $82K. You're buying a $1 million house for $80,000, $84,000, right? Even if you don't have $84,000, you are buying a $100,000 house for $8,400, right? It's the same thing. It's going to go up about, let's say, if it goes up 10x or 100x, you just multiply your investment by 10. So you don't need to own a whole Bitcoin to experience the returns. Whatever you put in, you're going to get the ROI that's proportional to how Bitcoin has grown. Making sense? Making sense? So this is math. This is not subject to your belief system. This is not subject to what you think. This is how it's been programmed to grow, and it's going to continue to go and go and go. So the earlier you understand and tap in, the better. If you don't, you're going to be paying a higher price. You're going to be buying the same Bitcoin you could have bought at 80K. You're going to be buying it at 1 million. You feel me? The same way you could have bought Bitcoin at 1K and you're buying at 84K now. Same way you could have bought Bitcoin at 10K over here, but you're buying at 84K. You purchase Bitcoin at a price that you deserve. You feel me? Any questions? If you got a question, feel free. I'm gonna just vibe for like an hour or so. I just want to bless somebody with free game today. How do you turn it into, you need to accumulate. So I'm not even gonna go there yet because I think it distracts you from holding, right? You need to be able to buy enough Bitcoin and hold for at least 10 years before you start to think about living off of your Bitcoin, right? So that is the minimum. You have to at least hold it 10, 15 years. If you're able to hold it 10, 15 years and you're buying constantly, there are ways to make money off of it. There are ways to borrow money against it. There are ways to withdraw your Bitcoin, live off of that, and it's going to continue to grow. But you got to be able to hold it at least a decade before you ever think about making money from it or taking money out of it, I should say. Make sense? All right, let me show you something else. Okay. Yeah, if you hold in forever, just start paying yourself after 10 years, you'll be good. But this is where we are, right? This is where we are right now. Bitcoin is at 84K. The projection based on different models, right? The projection by 2027-ish. Actually, let's go to 2030. By 2030, different models here have different projections. One of them is going to be right. So even on the low end, by 2029, low end, we are talking 361K per Bitcoin, right? That's the rainbow HPR model. The power law model is talking 480K per Bitcoin. Stock to income model, $2.5 million per Bitcoin. Stock to flow, $3 million per Bitcoin. Even if it stays in the middle and it's $500,000 per Bitcoin, you are basically buying an asset that will be valued at $500,000 for 84K today, right? It could be higher, it could be lower, but what we do know is it's not going to be lower than 84K. You never hold Bitcoin for more than 4 years and lose money. In the 16 years of Bitcoin's life, this has never happened, right? This has never happened. So I just want you to know there's a way everybody becomes rich, right? No matter who you are, no matter how much money you have, right? This is math. This is science. This is gospel. It's going to go. It will not come down. So don't wait. Oh, I'm going to get it back at 10K. It will never happen. Never say never, but it will likely not happen, right? So if you buying it now, it's going up. As you can see, if we come here in 2011, price was 87 cents. This is the same asset we are talking about now. The same asset that we are willing to pay 84K for. The same asset was 70 cents in 2011. And as you can see, the models are pretty close. Give or take, it might be a little higher or slightly lower, but the models follow the price, or the price follows the models, right? So by 2013, Bitcoin's price was at $639. It went all the way to $1,000. Think about it. 2-3 years prior, it was at 70 cents. 2 years later, you were paying $1,000 for something you could have bought at 70 cents. Or if you did buy it at 70 cents, it meant you paid 70 cents for $1,000 asset. If you kept that Bitcoin, that means you paid 70 cents for an asset that is now worth $80,000. It's insane. But it's going to continue to go up and go up and go up and go up and go up. You feel me? So as you can see here, right, it's going up forever. There might be pullbacks here and there, but ultimately, this is an upward trending chart. So people, newbies who don't understand the game, they see a correction and they panic. Oh, Bitcoin is going down, it's crashing. But if you look at the chart, long term, it's only going up, occasional pullbacks, then it goes up, then it pulls back. But as I showed you guys earlier, there's a reason for the parabolic moves. Is the halving. When it halves, you get in less Bitcoin, you put in more work, and also more people are getting in the game. The more they understand that Bitcoin is backed and fueled by life, energy, time, and resources, people don't want to sell, right? All right. So I showed you the Satoshis per dollar. Let's look at Bitcoin's. Let's look at the all-time high. Okay, so look at the dates. This is insane, right? Look at the dates. This allows you to get a better perspective, right? The current all-time high is 106. We need to, if we break 106 by the end of this year, it means the 4-year pattern, the cycle is still intact. But as you can see, Bitcoin makes an all-time high all the time. Then it comes down. At some point, the all-time high was 13 cents. See what I'm saying? Then it came down. Then it made an all-time high here of $16. Then it crashed all the way to $2. So basically, what we are experiencing now is no different from, the characteristics of Bitcoin. If you just started to learn about Bitcoin or buy Bitcoin, maybe you are afraid, right? You feel like, oh, this may be over. You may be feeling like this is over. It may be over, but it's not. Where are you going? Get out of the cookie thing. Okay, so like I said, it goes here, right? All-time high, 162. Look at it crash down over here to 68. What percentage, what correction is that? That is a huge drop, right? That is similar to Bitcoin going to 162,000 and crashing down to 68K. I swear if you go on Twitter and Reddit, people probably said, yes, it's dead. And then it breaks and creates a new all-time high all the way here at 1200, came all the way down here, right? From 1200 all the way down here is insane, right? Then it moves sideways, 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 sideways. This was after a bull market, Bitcoin kind of like moved sideways, right? Until we get into another bull market. And then it made an all-time high here of 19K. Then it dropped all the way here to 3K. From 19K to 3K is insane, right? People would have swore the move was over. Bitcoin is done. But as you can see, it keeps on going. So if you buy the dips, every time it drops, if you buy, you never lose money buying and holding Bitcoin over time. So don't get caught up with the noise, right? Most people haven't looked at the history properly to even understand what is going on. Okay, they haven't looked at it. This shit is going all the way, right? A decade or so from now, it will be all the way up here. We just started. It just started, right? The stock market has been going on for a long time. This just started, but it's trending up. So the sky's the limit. We will be dead and gone, and this shit will still be moving up, creating new highs. 100 million, 120 million, 150 million. It sounds crazy. Mute your mic. It sounds crazy that I'm saying that right now, right? But it's only a matter of time. And if you are here now, you are not late. All right? All right. Let me show you something else. Any questions? Any questions? Give me a 1 if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Type 1. This is orange pill hour. Orange pill hour. Man, we talking about Bitcoin. You talking about Solana. Okay, so look at the public companies that own Bitcoin, right? Everything that is not Bitcoin is a shitcoin. So I don't even focus on that. They only go up because Bitcoin is going up. So there's no reason to pay attention to their ledger, whatever blockchain they got going on. If it's something you want to do, you can find resources to track that. But there are shit coins, they're irrelevant. So anyway, nobody is accumulating, no countries are accumulating XRP or Solana or any of the shit coins. Who you want to pay attention to is Bitcoin. MicroStrategy right now alone holds damn near 500,000 Bitcoins, right? That adds up to over 2% of the entire Bitcoin supply. That is insane, considering you cannot make more, you cannot get more. Considering the fact that about 20% of all Bitcoins have been lost forever, right? So the supply is not really 21 million. We are talking about 18. So that makes it more valuable than it actually is. Then you got Mara, you got Riot, you got Tesla. Tesla holds 11,000 Bitcoins, right? So all these companies hold a lot of Bitcoins. And the companies that have Bitcoin on their reserves are going to be the companies that lead the world in the future, because this is the future of money. Whoever doesn't tap in now will be left in the dark. This is what's going to make MicroStrategy the most valuable company in the world in the next decade or so. You're going to see. So with that said, you already know where the value of their stock is going to go, right? It's a no-brainer. You know what to do. Then we got countries and government that are holding Bitcoin. No country, no governments are holding XRP, Solana, any shitcoin, because they don't have any value, right? So when we are talking crypto, we talking Bitcoin. Bitcoin is crypto, crypto is Bitcoin. Anything that is not Bitcoin is a shitcoin. And you can see the reflection of that here. You have the United States government that holds almost 1% of all the Bitcoins that are in circulation now. They seized it. Then you got China, you got UK, you got Ukraine, you got Bhutan, right? Germany, their dumbass sold their 50,000 Bitcoins they had. They would have been at like number 4, right? Then you got private companies that own Bitcoin. So there are private companies that hold Bitcoin, right? Not publicly traded companies, but private companies, companies that are not on the stock market. You got Block One, you got Tether, right? You got Zappo Bank, BitMEX, Mt. Gox, right? And these are the countries that they are in. ETFs. So you got BlackRock ETF. They hold 500, more than 500,000 Bitcoins. Then you got all these other ETFs, Grayscale, blah, 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 right? So these companies, they have seen something. They understand something. They understand the future. BlackRock a few years ago was calling Bitcoin a fraud. They said it wasn't going to go anywhere. Then 2 years later, they changed their mind. You got to ask yourself, why is a multi-trillion-dollar company buying so much Bitcoin? Because they don't want you to have any. And if you don't own your Bitcoin, if you don't own the private keys to your Bitcoin, you don't really own the Bitcoin. You don't control the Bitcoin. So BlackRock is buying a lot of real Bitcoin, and then they giving you the opportunity to speculate from the gains, but those Bitcoins are not assets for you. You cannot pass it on to your kids. You can only make money based on it going up, going down. So if you buy Grayscale, if you buy BlackRock, iBit or whatever, just know that you don't own any Bitcoin. You just speculated. What you want to do is actually purchase the Bitcoin itself, own the private keys, move it away from the centralized exchange, and store it for your family. That's how you get rich. Anybody got any questions?
So it shouldn't take that long. Yeah. Or you want me to just wait till you finish and go get it? I just want to go get it right now. It's so
Who is that? I'm about to.
While you're out, you can Chick-fil-A. After you have lemonade.
Who's talking?
Oh, the same. Yeah, the grilled nuggets are fried with buffalo sauce.
See, this is why we don't be knowing if I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. Anywho, any questions? I'm gonna be nice. It's Saturday. Any questions? No questions? Nobody has any questions? When you are free, yeah, go ahead. What's your question? What's your question? And as you can see, right, all these companies and countries, these companies and countries control about 14%. These companies, yeah, so these companies, countries, and institutions, right, control about 14% of all the Bitcoins, right? You got ETFs, control 6%, countries, 2.5%, public companies, which includes MicroStrategy, private companies, mining companies, DeFi companies, right? They control about 14%, and they're gonna try and increase how much Bitcoin they can get, right? MicroStrategy is actively purchasing. The US government is going to be actively purchasing. All the other countries, once they see the US government actively purchasing, they're going to step their game up. So it will get to a time the price is going to be so high that you cannot afford to get a piece. So don't wait. You buy Bitcoin and you wait. You don't wait to buy Bitcoin. If MicroStrategy will be the biggest company, why not invest, say, 100K in the stock? You can, but MicroStrategy, you still speculating in a way. You don't really own any Bitcoin. They own the Bitcoin, right? They own the private keys. And so MicroStrategy is a trade. It's not an investment, right? If you are investing, you want to have control of the asset you own. If you buy MicroStrategy, you are not in control. You allowing somebody to purchase the Bitcoin. It's almost like MicroStrategy is Bitcoin on leverage, right? So you can do that, but you don't want to put too much money on MicroStrategy without actually owning Bitcoin. So if you got 100K, it's best to put 80K or 90K into real Bitcoin and speculate with 10 to 20K on MicroStrategy. Because if MicroStrategy pops, it may, if Bitcoin does a 300%, MicroStrategy will likely do 800%. That's just the truth, right? But if Bitcoin drops, then MicroStrategy is going to drop even more. So you only want to do these things with money you can afford to lose or an amount you can see go down 80, 90%. If you don't want to see your 100K turn into 10K, then that ain't something you want to play with. But if you got a little bit of money and you want to speculate, because ultimately it's still the same Bitcoin, right? But on one end, you own it. On the other end, it's leveraged through, MicroStrategy. So yeah, I just wanted you guys to kind of get an idea of where we are and where we are going. Capiche? Anybody got a question? Nah, you good. You good. Anybody got a question? I'm starting a YouTube thing where I'll do, like I said, I'll do like 30 minutes every day, just orange pilling shit, putting the information out there. I know somebody gonna get it, right? Somebody gonna get it. Any questions? Feel free. This is free game. You ain't doing shit no way on this Saturday, or whatever you doing ain't gonna make you no money. So if you are here, feel free, ask questions. Let me help direct you to change your life. You can type or you can ask. Any questions? I said on the last live, 1K is, yep, 1K is worth 100K. That's 100X. Whatever you planning on spending money on, basically think about it. Think about it in terms of opportunity cost. I mean, not necessarily in this decade. It could be 2 decades, but it's going there. It doesn't have to be this decade, right? And once you understand Bitcoin, you're not necessarily predicting the price, right? You're not necessarily predicting the price. What you do know is it's going up. Whether it goes up 20% or 100% or 200%, that's not really the point. The point is 5 years from now is going to be higher than it is right now. So whatever amount of money you put in is going to be worth more if you invested in Bitcoin. The predictions are just to give you an idea of possibilities, right? But it can do more. It could actually do more. It can do 100X in 12, 15 years. It can do 200X, right? Depending on the adoption, depending on when other countries start to purchase it aggressively, because this is an asset you cannot make more of, right? This is an asset that you cannot make more of. This is the only asset that you can verify every transaction from day one, right? And a lot of people don't know this, but let me show you something. A lot of people don't know this. Let me show you. Yeah, what's the question? Let me show you. So this is this is the first Bitcoin mined by Satoshi Nakamoto, right? He received 50 Bitcoin. The Bitcoin has not moved, right? Bitcoin has not moved. That Bitcoin, that 50 Bitcoin is now worth 4.2 million, When he first got this Bitcoin, it was worth nothing. Bitcoin has never seen war or a recession. What do you think are the factors? I don't know. I just know that Bitcoin is going up and it will forever go up. As to what it's going to do, I would just be speculating. I don't speculate. Bitcoin has been through different recessions. Bitcoin was created because of a recession, as a matter of fact. So it's a product to solve the recession. Because when when the 2008 recession happened, bankers got bailed out, big institution got bailed out, right? Rich people got bailed out, regular people got fucked, right? So it may go up, it may go down temporarily, but what we do know is ultimately is going up, regardless of what happens. Nothing is going to stop it because this is a finite, an asset with a finite amount. You feel me? Hold on, I want to show you something. So this is, again, the people who came in late. This is the blockchain, right? This is the blockchain. This is the first block mined by Satoshi. This was mined by Satoshi. So block 1, block 2, block 3, block 4, block 5. This is all Satoshi. Mining it, earning it like everybody else. He did not award himself pre-mined Bitcoin like other shit coins, right? With all the other shit coins, they pre-mine it and they give it to themselves. He earned it. And then other people came in, like the guy that bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 or with 10,000 Bitcoins. He legitimized it as a payment system, right? But we look back and we like, oh, he spent so much Bitcoin. Nobody would have believed in it if he didn't do that. And Bitcoin was worth about maybe $40 in dollars back then. That same Bitcoin, had he held it, will be worth damn near $1 billion, or $850 million today, right? But these people, you have to give them credit, because had he not done that, Bitcoin probably would have never worked. But where's the code? Let me show you something. There's Satoshi left a code that pretty much tells you what he or she or whoever was thinking. Oh, and also you see this, every Bitcoin transaction has a Coinbase transaction, right? This Coinbase is not from Coinbase Exchange. Coinbase Exchange actually stole this name and turned it into a business name, right? But right now, Coinbase has become so big that if you see this, you're probably thinking it's from Coinbase. No, it's a transaction on a blockchain. With every transaction, there's a Coinbase transaction, and that's where Coinbase got the name from. But I want to show you something. But ain't it beautiful that you can actually see these transactions, see every transaction that ever happened from January of 2009 all the way till this time. Every Bitcoin transaction that you've had, I've had, is recorded on here. So why was Bitcoin created? What was it truly trying to fix? The fucked up monetary system we have, the fact that they print so many dollars from nowhere. Bitcoin is earned, it's mined. You can't go back and change anything. It's transparent. It's for the people. Nodes around the world manage Bitcoin, not any central government, right? So it's a form of money, a digital ledger that is managed by all of us, regular folks, instead of a central entity making the rules and fucking it up for everybody else. So Bitcoin came in to be a superior form of money. That's why I'm saying when the recession happened, Bitcoin was born out of a recession to fix the problem of recessions. Because we go into recessions primarily because of what? Who was that? We go into recessions because of mismanagement of the government, right? So Bitcoin was created as a solution so that we have something to help us, a real form of money, peer-to-peer, controlled by people around the world. It cannot be stopped, it cannot be hacked. You don't have to move it physically, but it has all the qualities of what real money is supposed to be. It's a digital version of gold. It has similar characteristics like gold. You have to mine it. You have to earn it. And you don't necessarily get rewarded just because you're mining it just like gold. You can have the resources, hire labor to try to go find gold. You can spend lots of money and not find anything. Same with Bitcoin, right? So it makes it rare, makes it scarce, but what makes it even better, unlike gold, is that it has a fixed amount. There will be no more than 21 million Bitcoin, which makes it more attractive, more scarce. So whoever gets a piece, when the demand goes up, the value goes up and you make money. You get it? So if you look at the bottom, you look at the bottom here, right? So this is sats. So Satoshis are the smallest unit of a Bitcoin. So 50 Bitcoins is 5 billion sats, right? 5 billion sats. It's 50 Bitcoins. But this is what I wanted to show you. Do y'all see my screen? Look at my screen. This is a code that Satoshi coded into the first Bitcoin that he mined. Do you see this? Let me know if you can read it. See, you got to go back. The thing is, we spend dollars, but we don't understand dollars. We don't understand money. But we work for it, we slave for it, we kill for it, we do whatever for it, for cash, for dollars, for euros, for pounds. But we don't understand it. It's small. It says the times, 03, 2009. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. All right, so let's do something real quick here. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So this is the code, right? But this gives so many clues that folks may not. What clue do you get from this? If Satoshi put this is what he put. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. He coded this on the first block. What kind of clue do you get from this? Recession was already, we were already in a recession then. Because remember, the recession hit 08. So we were already in a recession, hence the need for, but where do you think Satoshi may be from? Or they are from, potentially? Yep, what currency are we looking at?
Orange box that a severe thunderstorm warning, but even
Mute your mic, whoever it is. So you see the date, right? All right. Let's look at the actual time. So what clues do you get? This is the times. Looks like a British newspaper, right? Okay. There's a lot of clues on this, right? Israel prepares to send tanks and troops into Gaza. So you see the shit that is happening to, them folks over there. It's nothing new. How much was a pint of beer at that time? 99 pence, 99p, right? What other clues do you see on this? It's deeper than that, man. I'm trying to have you, it's deeper than that. He didn't want to say too many things with words, but if you try to decode what was being done, you get the point. You get the point. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing new under the sun. Till this day, they still fight it. Aren't they still in war? 08, 09, same shit was happening, right? It says Israel allowed foreigners to flee Gaza Strip as it prepared for a ground offensive. At least 430 Palestinians were killed in a week of airstrikes, right? He put this there on purpose. So Bitcoin is here to do so many things, bigger than just you trying to flip some shit, right? Anyway, I don't know what he is predicting. This is subject to your own interpretation, but this is what he coded into the first block. Right? This is what he didn't explain, but however you take it, I'm sure somebody has tried to explain it. So let's see. So All right, so over here, if you're an immigrant drug dealer with no bank account and wanted to buy a Bitcoin with cash, what could they do? Are you asking for a friend? Or are you asking for yourself? You're asking for a friend or you're asking for yourself? What could they do? You could use a Bitcoin ATM. Use a Bitcoin ATM. You're just gonna pay a higher fee for the Bitcoin. Because that's what you get. Who has KYC? Or there are platforms, no, they don't have no KYC. I don't know. They have, if they require KYC, it defies the purpose. Okay, so don't buy 1K. There are platforms where you can buy directly from someone else, right? Without you exchanging any identification, because they have escrow and you put the money in there, the platform will make sure that person puts that Bitcoin in escrow. Once the exchange is done, you take your Bitcoin and you go. Right? So there are platforms to do that if you really want to remain anonymous. But so yeah, you can, so this is, I haven't really looked at it because, it's whatever. But I'm sure people have given their opinion as to what it meant. And if you really want to understand the reason and why it was done, you want to decode the code, right? He left a lot of clues here as to the reason, and he put it there on purpose. Otherwise, he could have just did the mining, left it alone, but leaves clues. But anyway, that's just a fun fact. Any questions? Any questions? Let me show you some more things, right? So don't try to get rich overnight with Bitcoin because you are not. But if you can hold it for a while, if you can hold it for a decade, for 2 decades, you will be rich forever. So as you're making money, hustling, working, doing whatever, take a piece, buy Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has outperformed everything, right? Look at gold. Right now, gold is outperforming Bitcoin in a year. But remember, the year is not over. This is a bull market. So by the end of the year, Bitcoin is likely going to shit on gold. But look at Bitcoin 2 years, it shits on gold, it shits on SPY, right? 4 years, okay, gold beat it. 5 years, look, 1,500% against 96%. SPY 130. 7 years, 943%. 9 years, 20,000%, right? In 14 years, gold has returned about 100% versus Bitcoin 11 million%, right? Like the numbers don't even make any sense. If you look at Bitcoin's market cap from here, right, shit is going up and up and up and up and up. It's not coming down to 500 billion market cap. It's not coming down to 300 billion market cap. It's going up and it's trying to catch gold and it's going to surpass gold. Bitcoin is going to be a 20 trillion market cap, 50 trillion, 100 trillion market cap. Bitcoin is not in competition with XRP or all these shit coins. Bitcoin is in competition with the entire real estate market, entire gold market, entire silver market, which is it already surpassed silver, right? So I just want to open your eyes to some things here so you know where we are going. Because if you don't understand where we come from or where we came from, you definitely don't know where you are going. Gold market cap is at 18 trillion now. Bitcoin is at 1.6 trillion, right? That is crazy. The fact that it's a superior asset than gold, right? You can move it faster. Nobody knows if you have it or not, or how much you have. You can sell it really fast. It's better than real estate. It has outperformed pretty much everything, right? So, anywho, any questions? Any questions? Feel free, ask questions, feel free. This is Orange Pill Hour. Damn, I'm already in 1 hour. Okay, I'm not going past 2 hours. Do you have any questions? If you don't own Bitcoin right now, you are fooling around. Any questions? Let me stop sharing for a minute. Any questions? No questions? Do you guys understand what a sat is? You understand what a Satoshi is? Do you understand that you don't have to have enough money to buy a whole Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin? Do you understand you can buy $20 worth of Bitcoin? Do you understand you can buy $1 worth of Bitcoin? And eventually that $1 is going to be worth $10 and $20 and $30. Huh? Nobody? Damn, you guys are pros to the point where you ain't got no question. That's a good thing. Who said there are multiple ways, brother? You need to do research. Can't be talking online like that. Who is that? What do you mean? Shit, if you know there are multiple ways, what are you asking me for? If you know there are multiple ways, what are you asking me for? I'm not an immigrant drug dealer. Does anybody have any questions? So yeah, also get the fold card, right? Get the fold card and get paid and earn Bitcoin in your everyday purchases. Oh, okay, okay. I was about to say, I'm like, hell, they talking about? I'm not. You gotta be cautious, man. You don't know who be listening. And plus, nobody even registered for this shit, so I don't even know who is on here. Well, you know, you talking to Charleston White. You talking to the feds and shit, you know? But next thing you know, they knocking on your door. So you gotta be cautious, man. The feds be watching, the feds be listening. And I know this is not my Discord. This is a free Zoom. Anybody could have joined. So Ian Dunlap may be on here recording this shit, you know. But yeah, any questions? Gotcha. Any questions? So we're not even talking shit coins here, right? This is the safest way for anybody to change their life, build wealth, change your kid's life, right? Man, you really on that no KYC, huh? You gonna have to tap into the Discord for that one. Feds be watching. Go buy on Coinbase and pay your taxes. Go on Coinbase and pay your taxes, man. Or go on Paxful or something. Or go to an ATM. Go to the ATM, man. But I mean, there are ways, you know what I'm saying? We do it. There, you know, there are several exchanges where you can do your thing. It ain't too hard to find, but I'm not about to say that on here. What's up, Shannon? Any questions? Okay, let me do something real